Hey folks, Jason here in the shop again. I want to talk to you about a little technique called drawboring. This is a way to really get a tenon, mortise and tenon joint nice and tight, and it'll stay together. It'll keep it strong too. It's a technique I've read a lot about and worked a lot on. I'm still learning a little bit about it, but I think I've got the main idea. So let me show you how to do it and see what you think. Thanks. Okay, here we have a mortise and tenon put together for a table leg I'm working on. It's a good tight joint already, but we want to keep it that way and we want to draw it nice and tight together. So here's the thing about a drawbore. Let me pull this joint apart here. And see, the first thing you want to do, get your mortise and tenon cut nicely, get it squared up, get it where it fits together well. And then, here's the hard part. This is what you need to do. Okay, and a drawbore here. And let's just see if you can see this here. Yeah, there you go. See, we've drawbored. Now, I'm not really sure how this is supposed to hold the thing together. Maybe my bore is not very good. But, you know, he's got horns on him, and a mouth, and a tail, so I figured it's a pretty good bore. Maybe it'll hold the joint together. Huh? Just kidding. Okay, now we're really going to show you how to do a drawbore. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we got ourselves some little marks here where we put some little crosses. That's where the holes are going to go. In my case, it doesn't really matter. They're an inch down and an inch over. You want to leave enough meat up here on top of the tenon so that there's much space here so that it has something to really grab hold of. But anyway, so the tenon's done, fits together. We've made a mark here where we want the holes to go. So now I'm just going to take a 1/4 inch bit, because that just happens to be the size of pins I've got. And I'm going to put it here on this hole, this mark. And I'm going to drill down. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but you know, it popped through the first cheek. I felt it drop, and it's going to start on the next cheek. I don't want to drill all the way through the next cheek. So I'm going to feel down here every so often. Now, I'm starting to feel the point of the bit pop out a little bit, so I go a little further. It's popping out good. Now, the point of the bit's popped out on the other side. We'll flip it over in just a minute and you'll see that we've got the holes marked where they need to go on the other side. That's one. Okay. Drill this other. Again, don't go all the way through. If you go all the way through with one of these auger bits, you're going to make a mess on the other side. Okay, almost there. Alright, now, back her off. Flip her over. This side of the wood is a little rough. My wood was running short of thickness here. So, but you might be able to see here in the picture, I don't know if you can see, there's two little teeny tiny holes. And those are where the bit started to pop out. Now we're just going to finish the hole out from the back. There we go. Okay, that one's done. By the way, this bit doesn't have a catch for this type of brace, but I like using this brace now and again, especially for little stuff. That's why it pulls back out. If I filed a notch in it, it wouldn't pull out. Okay, got it. Now, okay, that rough will get sanded away. It's not an issue. Alright, so the holes are done. Now, inside this tenon is just a little bit messy. I'm going to take a chisel and just knock off where the bit blew through the tenon sheets. Dump it out. Okay. Then, we'll put our bore back in here. Sorry, Mr. Bore. There we go. Now, here's the important part. Here's what we want to do here. First thing we're going to do is mark that with the same bit that I just drilled a hole with. I'm going to put this bit in here. I'm not drilling anywhere. I'm just going to fit it in there and push down a little bit. It's going to make a little point on the tenon. Push down a little bit. Okay. Now what I've done is mark the tenon so that we will know where the holes go. And there's a teeny tiny mark there, but they don't go. Oh, here we go. So on our bore, there's a mark here and here for where the tenons, where the holes line up on here. And that's not what we're going to do. What we're going to do is move these holes this way, back towards the shoulder of the tenon. And so when we do that, we put it all together, it's going to pull this in tight to try to line up the holes. We're not going to move it much, just a tiny, tiny bit. 1/16 of an inch at most, maybe not even that much. So let's try that. We're just going to move it just a little bit inside. Okay, not much. We're going to bore through this. Now you can bore all the way through this, it doesn't matter. Because if it blows out on the back, nobody's going to see it. Okay, got our holes done, and they're just a little bit offset. So what's going to happen is that when I drive the pins in, it's going to pull this together this way. The other thing you might sometimes want to do is use a pen or something to kind of soften the edge here. I'm going to use this a little bit. I don't have a Drawbore pen. It just gets it started a little easier. Now the other thing you want to do is with your pins, I've got just this little piece of oak dowel, but the end's square. So I got a little pencil sharpener right here. I'm going to put it in this pencil sharpener. I'm going to turn a bit, and just a little bit, and now you might be able to see here there's a point on it. So this just makes it go in easier. Just a couple little turns on the pencil sharpener. This works well for a 1/4 inch, maybe up on it to 1/2 inch. Anything else you could probably use some sandpaper or something, but they just need to be tapered a little bit on the end. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the hole. Okay. I'm going to put the pin in there, that one in there. We're going to tap them in with the hammer. Now, I'll get off the bench here a little bit, tap it through. You see over here on the side, you can see where this glue has already squeezed out already. That's from pulling that joint together tight. And on the back side, look how tight that's pulled it together. And got a saw here. Saw off these pins. Then take the lock plane, go across in there, smooth them up, and like I said, I'm going to sand all that rough stuff there so it'll be nicer. On this side, they're not sticking out very much. The easiest way to do it is take your block plane here, just cut across there. There we go. And a little bit more plain sanding. We'll have that cleaned right up. We've got a nice tight joint. Well, that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot, y'all. Have a great day.